Actually, just want to get back to St. Petersburg right now, where Russia's top business leaders are gathered there for the city's International Economic Forum. Among them, media billionaire Alexander Lebedev, the owner of the UK's Evening Standard and independent newspapers as well, standing by to speak to our Ryan Shilcoat. Ryan, take it away.
Yeah, Mr. Lebedev just came out of the Russian president's speech, and we wanted to start by talking about that. You were pretty impressed, I guess, by the speech?
I was.
The president was talking about privatization?
Yeah, it's an interesting next step.
Yeah, promising another $30 billion of privatization?
I mean, he didn't speak figures, but he spoke on actually the dates. By the 1st of August, he actually demanded that the government comes up with a broader, large-scale and more detailed plan for privatization. I think he's absolutely correct, since he mentioned also the fight against corruption. I may add to that 90% of big corruption in this country is linked to state corporations and banks.
Not so much within the body of the government itself, but in the sort of state capital.
I mean, the government is present in most of the state banks, corporations and companies. So I'll take a bet that quite a lot of ministers and then part of the bureaucracy is, of course, tightly interlinked. Something, by the way, Medvedev also mentioned. Interesting what he said about business. I mean, to paraphrase it in a semi-childish way, I mean, everything good has to be done for the businessman, and the bureaucracy should be punished and actually reprimanded. He even came up with a new interesting suggestion that if there's enough evidence proving corruption, but it's not enough as admissible for law enforcement agencies or the courts, then this guy has to be fired. I mean, interesting speech about judicial system, that the personnel has to be renovated.
Speech. I mean, he's been talking about this for a while, and you know, who knows if he's going to be president by March, right?
You're driving at what I've been already asked in the street, whether you can see in the speech signs that he's going to run. I think we have been seeing these signs for a year already. Yeah. We've seen it in March, in Chelyabinsk. I think he definitely is keen to run. I think he's got the right to do that by what he said and did in the recent 3 years. And I think both gentlemen are interested to run.
Yeah. Are you going to go into politics?
If, for example, we see real political competition between Medvedev and Putin, and I've been seeing and feeling signs on my own skin in a sense, which is better rather than, it's for better rather than for worse. Yeah. If that is a kind of spring short of the political competition in the country, add to that certain steps to improve the judicial system, to create an independent TV channel, I may not object.
Well, what about business? You've said you're going to exit some of your businesses. What are you going to get rid of?
Look, I've been anyway for a few years doing publishing and investigative journalism.
You're going to get rid of publishing?
Yeah, no. This is not business for me. This is something I subsidize, and this is something I treat as a mission. So rather than money making.
The British newspapers aren't going anywhere. You're going to keep them.
Yeah. So if they become break-even, I'll be sort of the happiest man in the world, because that will mean that we'll live without my support. But otherwise, investigative journalism, publishing, global anti-corruption campaigning at the international level, maybe local politics if there is an opportunity or really we see possibility for anybody but Putin and Medvedev practicing politics. And
farming, I know you're the country's biggest potato farmer.
I'm quite happy with planning to produce this year 200,000 tons, because this is something where you're feeling that you're producing something for the people is really quite... everything else, I'll try to get out.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you very much, Alexander Lebedev, obviously NRC chairman, one of Russia's richest men, an estimated fortune of a couple $2 billion, talking to us about Russian president's speech, said he really liked it and thinks it's meaningful.